Okay guys, welcome back to my channel, and we are going to be doing this the double broiler way. So the way that we do this is you're going to want to take one pot and fill it up with water, and take another pot and place it on top. A smaller bowl or something, if you have something that will fit in there. I just like doing it this way because I can actually adjust it as needed. And it just gives me a broader surface. Now you're going to let this heat up very slowly, on top of each other. It shouldn't be a big deal to keep your stove on a pretty decent heat. I usually put mine at about a 5, and it will eventually heat this up. You just want to make sure that the oil doesn't boil too much. Now once you've added your herbs, or your peels in this case, which was what I'm doing, you're going to want to push them down and make sure that they are covered by the oil. I'm using a little more than I normally would, simply because these are dried instead of fresh, so it's going to take a little extra to actually get it in there. Good. You're going to want to make sure that the oil does completely cover all of your herbs. Now if you're using fresh herbs, you're not need to use as much. For something a little bit more pungent, I would use a couple of tablespoons for every few ounces. I'm using a little bit more simply because it is orange peel, but it's really up to you as to how you do it and how strong you want it. At this point, it's really just going to be a very long waiting game. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up so you guys can see it completely. See, looks great. This is pretty much it. This is the entire process. You just sit here and wait for about an hour, hour and a half, making sure it doesn't boil over or end up cooking the herbs or anything like that. You'll notice sometimes you'll have to pull this off because you have to be very careful and refill the water, because of course the water is going to boil out. Now every so often you'll notice some air bubbles pop up. Just kind of press it down very gently, because you don't want this to fall out, like I said. Very gently. And then I'll go ahead and I'll turn this off and I'll show you guys the end process, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to strain this. This is already cooked. You can see a bit of a color difference here. It's gotten dark. The dried bits have gotten darker as well, as opposed to what they usually look like whenever they're fresh. You can also smell a pretty big difference between it. I'm going to go ahead and filter this out into a larger container with my mesh. I'm going to be making it again. I'll be adding the new fresh bits to the old oil and reboiling it. It'll be a lot easier to catch all the bigger pieces without having to worry about if they're going to fall all over my stove. So there we go. Now whenever you're doing something like an orange peel or a lemon peel, you're probably not going to get much as far as it being soaked up, but you still want to give it a pretty good squeeze, just in case. You got a couple of drops out of that. And then that's pretty much it. You do this. And then whenever you're done, you can add in the new bits to the oil again and redo this. This will make it a lot stronger. It'll also make it a little bit more pungent as far as smell. Now whenever you're doing dried herbs, you're really going to have to give it a very good squeeze, because of course dried herbs, they're going to really suck up the oil and they're going to hold it, as opposed to things like orange or lemon or lime peels, because they don't really have like an absorption rate would be the technical term. Your warning, always let the oil cool down before you do anything. Squeeze it out, because it will burn, it will hurt, it will be hot. Just with fresh flowers, with dried flowers, with fresh herbs and dried herbs. I mean, you can go to the market and pick up some chives or some rosemary, pungent oil, and then you can even use it in potpourris. You can use it in bath products, because of course this is not an essential oil. A very nice natural scent, as opposed to going out and buying scented soaps or things like that. You can just use this oil to make your own soaps or your own wash. and it won't be as irritable to the skin. I hope that you guys really liked it. I hope that it was pretty in-depth for you, and let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. I use olive oil because it has a really long shelf life. I would use this oil up within 6 months is my personal thing. If it's 6 months has gone by and I haven't used it, I'm probably going to dump it and make less. So definitely make sure that you only make about as much as you plan on using. Alright, and whenever you double boil, always make sure that you're using or heat proof. And always make sure that this never goes out of water. Because, hey guys!